by tourists threatened, and also they felt kind of business competition coming up. That's why they want to come up with a new plan to gain attention, and that's why they gave their city a new identity, branded it with Amsterdam. This was launched on the September 23rd of 2004, and we're gonna find out what it led to. The thing I want to tell you about first is branding theory, and I'm gonna start off with just really simple definition, which is gonna show you what a brand is. The definition is, it's set by Ogilvy, it's from 1951, so pretty old, and it is: a brand is the consumer's idea of a product. So it's the idea of a product, what you think about it, what you feel about it. It could be a name, it could be a term, it could be a signal, just anything that describes the benefit of a product or the characteristics of a product. Regarding actual goods, that means goods you can buy in a store, branding makes perfect sense, because what you want to achieve with it is differentiate your product from other products, especially when your product satisfies the same need as a lot of other products do. You want yours to stand out. And to make this more clear, I'm gonna give you one example. Would you mind to pick one of these 3 lipsticks I have here? Just pick one, which you like the most. Ooh, alright. Catherine picked this one, which is a Christian Dior lipstick. And Christian Dior, as you know, is a really famous makeup brand. And when Catherine saw the name Christian Dior, she immediately knew that this lipstick will satisfy her need for a good quality lipstick. It's probably gonna have a nice color, and it's just gonna be what she wants. And that's what a brand does. It makes it stand out. You recognize it, you see Christian Dior, oh, that's gonna be a nice lipstick. It cannot be bad. So she picks it. This one doesn't have a brand, she doesn't know anything about it, probably not gonna pick it. And that's how brand works.
As a consumer and as a vendor, brands have different functions, which I'm going to explain. So first of all, consumers, there are 5 aspects we're going to focus on for consumers. So first there's orientation. So do you recognize the brand? Is Christian Dior recognizable? Do you know what it is? Are you familiar with it? Trust. Do you know that it's going to be good? With food, is it going to taste good? Or in the case of this product, is it going to be long lasting? Am I going to like it? Is it good quality? Prestige, especially for luxury brands such as makeup and other luxury brands, it has a bit of status because, you know, oh, Christian Dior, it's fancy, or it's, you know, it's a known good brand. Assurance of quality, you know it's going to last. I know that this will last longer on my lips than a cheap brand, or at least that's what you think as a consumer. And last but not least, identification. Do you recognize a brand? If you see this, do you know what it is? I do, immediately. And consumers know that if they see Nutella, they see Heineken, they recognize immediately what that means.
As a vendor, so as the one selling the product, you of course have a completely different range of aspects why branding your product would be good. One of them is building a preference by customers, which means that the customers actually prefer your product, your Christian Dior lipstick, and buying that instead of another lipstick. And also it's an accretion of the company. It sheds good light on your company if you have a really good product. Customer loyalty, which means that people are gonna come back to your product and not buy any other product, and that's what you want to achieve, because that's what gives you money. People buy your product over and over again. Also scope and price, which means if you have a really good prestige brand, you can probably make your product even more expensive and people are still gonna buy it, thus you earn more money. Also differentiation towards competition, which means that you give your product extra value with the brand, you give it an identity, you give people an image of it, and that makes people buy it more likely than an unbranded product which doesn't have any more aspects to it than the product itself. Also, a brand can be a really, really good platform for new products. So if Christian Dior now decides to do some completely different range of products like drinks or something like that, people are gonna recognize the brand, be like, Christian Dior, oh, this must be nice, and they're more likely to buy it.
Now I'm going to focus on image versus identity. So the vendor and the consumers make a different use of a brand. For example, with identity, it's actually the vendor, the one selling, and it's inside-out perspective, so that's how they want to portray, and they want people to identify with their brand. And image is how the consumer sees it, so the outside-in perspective, so what they think of a brand. And there's often, indeed, a gap between identity and image, so how the brand wants to identify and how they want people to see them and how people actually, the image they have of the brand. So the difference between marketing and city branding is that marketing is the umbrella, it's about the consumer's needs and the consumer's wants. However, city branding itself is stakeholders, etc., or an organisation such as the Gemeente in Amsterdam, trying to give the identity that they've chosen for a location. And the location could be a city or a nation, it varies. It depends on what they're trying to kind of promote. One of the big branding campaigns that is actually quite famous, the city branding campaigns, is the one for the Big Apple and the one for I Love New York. Those were launched in the 70s by New York because they wanted to make identity of the city positive because there was a lot of violence and a lot of problems going on at that time, and they wanted to move away from that image. They wanted people to associate New York with positive, metropolitan, bustling kind of place. And in 1971 they launched the Big Apple campaign, which is now an iconic brand that we know of. And they also launched I Love New York in 1977. The three areas that we're going to focus on today are branding architecture, which refers to what branding level we're focusing on. So it can be national, regional, a city, etc. And how you communicate that to the target group, which is basically the stakeholders. So the people that live there, the people that work there, or the people who are interested in that place, such as tourists. Positioning. How can a city stand out from other cities? That's what positioning is about. So how is Amsterdam different to London or New York or Tokyo? What makes it special? Organizational structure. What is a good structure for the management of city branding?
Now I'm going to talk about the actual city branding of Amsterdam, Amsterdam. And actually Amsterdam has been branded with slogans before, which you probably didn't know about, but that's kind of part of the story. Amsterdam was branded before with Amsterdam has it, Amsterdam capital of inspiration, Amsterdam capital of sports, small city, big business, and cool city. There was no continuity in these slogans, and problem also was that it failed to be an umbrella for all the city villas of Amsterdam, and that's what they wanted it to be. Also, the problem with these slogans is they only target one target group. Like City of Sports only targets sports people, but if you brand a city which has so many different stakeholders, you need a slogan which really touches all of them. And that's why I Amsterdam was chosen. I Amsterdam has a clear, short, powerful message and makes people identify with Amsterdam, and they actually came out with a I Amsterdam manifesto, which is: I choose Amsterdam for business. I choose Amsterdam for education. I choose Amsterdam for inspiration. I choose Amsterdam as my home. I am Amsterdam. So that's the whole story behind it. A lot of organizations, companies and institutions will benefit from it because they can use the slogan. They can identify with this type of city branding. So if one company does a really good thing, they're gonna shed light on another company which also uses I Amsterdam. But I Amsterdam cannot be used unlimited. It's a registered trademark. That means that you can only use it if you're certified to do it, and you can only use it in different ways. It always has to be a different certificate font size. It always has to be a specific color. So you cannot just put I Amsterdam on anything. You have to be authorized by the city. After a lot of research, Amsterdam Partners, so the marketing agency that does the city branding for Amsterdam, came up with 16 dimensions of Amsterdam. They found out that all of those are part of the city and make it up as a whole, and none can be ignored, they concluded. These dimensions are residential city, hub function, meeting place, city of canals, capital, business city, sex, drugs and rock and roll, people, livable city, architecture, compact city, artistic, nightlife, shopping city, city of events, and city of knowledge. They found out by interviewing lots of people and so on that the most important aspects in the current situation for the people are city of canals, sex, drugs and rock and roll, and meeting place. However, they have a different target picture which the city branding is trying to achieve, and in this target picture the most important aspects are city of canals, business city, artistic city, city of knowledge, and residential city.
So for the 3 target groups, we had living, working, and visiting. Visiting are tourists, and you'll see the results of that later. But first of all, the living, when we asked them what word or words they associated with Amsterdam, they thought of freedom, tolerance, and gay-friendly. What they did associate from the list of 16 aspects of Amsterdam that the marketing plan had was meeting place, city of canals, sex, drugs, R&R, so rock and roll, Liverpool, city, architecture, artistic and compact city. What they didn't associate with it was shopping city and city of knowledge. They didn't see that as part of Amsterdam. The working, however, associated it with similar things, but they had a little bit slightly different results. So they had canals, freedom, bikes, diversity, changing, and village. So apparently one of them thought it was a village. They associated from the list of 16 things was city of canals, livable, artistic, people, and city of events. What they didn't associate was residential city, capital, and livable city. Now you're going to see the results of the tourists.
Weed.
History, canals, sex.
Party life, prostitution, and art.
Crepes.
Crepes, cannabis, canals, bikes.
Magic mushrooms.
Fun, yeah, probably.
Beer.
Hiking. I don't know, I also think of, culture as well.
Yeah, museums.
Yeah.
Amsterdam sign.
Yeah.
So I would say not residential city.
Not residential city. Meeting place.
City of canals.
Yep.
Yes.
Capital. Yes.
Business city.
No.
No. Sex, drugs, R&R. Yeah. People. Yes.
Livable. Not for us.
Yeah.
Architecture. Yes.
Compact city. Yeah.
Artistic. Yes.
Nightlife. Yes.
Shopping city. Yes.
City of events. Yes. City of knowledge.
Yes.
I'd say no to that one.
No? I say yes. She says no.
Probably associate with the city of canals.
Yeah. Probably sex and drugs.
Yeah, that's main one. Probably architecture as well.
You can choose as many as you want. Just say which you don't.
Nightlife.
Yep.
I wouldn't really say business city, only because I don't associate it with that. I wouldn't really say compact city either.
I would say shopping, because there's loads of retail shops and that around.
And then city of events, there's loads going on in Amsterdam, which is really good. I wouldn't really say knowledge either, but that's only because we've not come here for that.
Yeah.
City of canals, definitely.
Yeah.
Sex, drugs, and R. Architecture.
Residential city.
Nightlife. City of events.
Architecture.
Artistic.
Nightlife as well.
Yeah. Meeting place.
City of knowledge.
Yeah.
And which one would you say you do not associate with Amsterdam?
Residential city.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I think business city.
Anything else?
Shopping city.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, to conclude, we have 3 target groups. We have people who live here, people who visit, like tourists, and also businesses. City branding is a way of giving the city more value and also bringing money into the city. And of course, who brings money into the city most are businesses. So city branding is always going to be focused on business. Still, the people, the most individuals who get in touch with the city and the city branding are individuals, which don't have really much to do with business and are probably never gonna have an idea of a business city when they think of Amsterdam. So our identity and our image are still not really in line because other people than businesses don't really think of Amsterdam as a business city. It is still a good source of information for tourists and all the people who live there, and it gives a lot of more value to other companies that using the slogan Amsterdam, so it's probably a good way of branding the city.